right now. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? It's time for the final countdown. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Need a spark to kickstart your innovation? Looking for thought and talks to get things moving? Wondering how to navigate a future full of change and uncertainty? With the eye-opening stories of digital disruption, extreme customer centricity, organizational innovation, and global shift, our collective of speakers, MCs, and moderators will shift your perspective. Meet our speakers. For booking and interviews, contact us on 0246 054092 or send us a mail info.afsesnet@gmail.com. You can also follow us on all social media channels at AfsesNet Global, African Seasoned Speakers Network, influencing the next generation of Africans.
Good evening and good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. Welcome to the Power Impact series on the African Seasoned Speakers Network. My name is T. You can call me the Boss Charger. Today is going to promises to be an interesting day. We are hosting one very powerful and encouraging, inspiring woman, and we're going to be talking on the topic, women stepping into their possibilities, the journey to Dubai. And so we have a very inspirational woman, Madam Grace Quarshie. But before we go on with our topic, Madam Grace, just a little bit.
Boss.
Today happened to be my first time meeting you, and
thank you.
I've watched you, watch your presentation with Ambassador, my host, Ambassador Ben Owusu, and it was very inspirational one. But this is my first time, so you're going to be doing an introduction. But before we do that, let me tell listeners that if you're joining us anywhere, wherever you are, welcome back again to the Power Impact series. The main host, Ambassador Owusu Ansa, is on a business trip kind of thing, so he's busy, and so I'm sitting in for him. Hopefully, I'm able to fill the shoes because it's a very big shoe. Hopefully, I'm able to do that. And so, without much ado, he's going to get back pretty soon, maybe in about a week or two, hopefully when the engagement is done, and then I'll hand over to him. He's the main host. We are here to support him to make sure this program really works. And so, Ambassador Owusu Ansa, wherever you are, and the team, greetings. So I'm hosting from all the way from the United States, Texas, Dallas to be precise, my home studio. And I'm going to be talking to an inspirational woman. Get your pens and your papers ready, and let's kickstart. Let's go for a quick commercial break while I give you time to get your pens and papers ready. And please, if you join us, share the line, share the link, call a friend to tell a friend that the Power Impact series is on. We are live on Facebook. And let's make this interactive, a very interactive program. Okay, so if you have any questions, any concerns, any contributions that you want to do, the program is open. This is a discussion forum where we learn. We bring experts like Madam Grace Quarshie and the rest to come talk to us and teach us their journey. So call a friend to tell a friend, share the line, click on the like button, and then subscribe to us, to our program. So anytime we go live, you're here. And so shout out to our main host, Ambassador Benjamin Owusu Ansa. Hey, I doff my hat for you. So let's go for a quick commercial break. Get your pens and papers ready, and then we kickstart. All right.
Need a spark to kickstart your innovation? Looking for thought and talks to get things moving? Wondering how to navigate a future full of change and uncertainty? With the eye-opening stories of digital disruption, extreme customer centricity, organizational innovation, and global shift, our collective of speakers, MCs, and moderators will shift your perspective. Meet our speakers. For booking and interviews, contact us on 0246 054092 or send us a mail info.afsesnet@gmail.com. You can also follow us on all social media channels at AfsasNet Global, African Seasoned Speakers Network, influencing the next generation of Africans.
So again, welcome. I'm sitting in host for Benjamin Owusu-Ansah, who is my main guy, a brother from another mother. Hopefully, I'm able to fill his shoes. He's an expert in what he does. He's been doing this for a while, and hopefully, I've been called to sit in while he takes on business assignments. So please bear with me and give me the same cooperation as you gave him. So, Madam Grace Quarshie is an international conference speaker and author. I kiss my job goodbye. In fact, the title alone draws me to it. Now, you've done so many things. I don't want to go into it and everything, but I want to hear it from you. So give us a brief introduction, because this is my first time meeting you.
Okay, thank you so much. And I would love to call you Boss T.
Okay.
Thank you so much. And good evening, good morning, good afternoon to our viewers everywhere that you are watching us from. And thank you so much for allowing us to steal your time to be here. And I promise you that you are going to get value for your time wherever you are watching us from. And shout out to Benjamin, wherever you are. We miss you. Come back quick. Shout out to you, and shout out to my sister Mackenzie, wherever you are. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining. So sometimes I look at myself and I wonder if I'm the one who I'm being called the author of I Kiss My Job Goodbye, an international conference speaker, a coach who has been awarded globally, and also someone helping women to step into their possibilities. But what I want viewers to know is that this was not me 6 years ago. In fact, there's so much difference from 6 years ago to now. August 2016.
I guess this will lead us straight into the topic: women stepping into their possibilities. So, for me, it's an open discussion. So please take it. Yeah, let's just flow. It's a discussion.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much. I love that. Yeah, because anytime I'm introducing myself, I want my audience to know where I'm coming from, so that immediately I can grab their attention to start seeing the possibilities in them. So August 2016, 10 a.m., 31st August, it was a Wednesday, I received a phone call from my boss to come into a meeting. And prior to that, anyone who has received this phone call never came back to the office again. It was a very fearful moment for me. As I climbed the staircase to the meeting room, I was welcomed by a panel, and my boss said in a tone of a voice I've never heard her spoken before. She said, "Grace, it's sad for me to be the one to let you know that you are part of 200 people who are going home today."
That would be a bad day.
Yeah. But see, immediately she said that, my heart sank into my stomach. Even currently, as I'm sharing this, I could feel the dizziness behind my head. I felt like this road of my dream has come to an end. I remember sweating in an air-conditioned room. And when I stretched my shaking hands to pick my redundancy package, I couldn't coordinate myself. When I thanked the panel and I got up from my seat, shut the door of that meeting room behind me, it was so dark and cold. I felt like I've entered a tunnel full of darkness with no end. And there was one question that was ringing so loud in my mind. And that question was, what is next for you?
That's a big question, because I'm just, because with all the challenges going on, financial challenges and everything. Because most of the challenges that we have in our lives, financial challenges, it amplifies most of the problems, even health problems, mental So if they are taking your livelihood away from you, I can imagine.
Yeah. So I know that there are lots of people watching me now, and you can put in the comments and let's see how many of us have ever gotten to that crossroad where you are asking yourself, what is next? Where should I go to the left? Should I go to the right? Should I go forward? Don't go backwards because there's nothing there for you to go to for. And you can share in the comments how you felt when you got to that crossroad. That's exactly where I was 6 years ago, August 31st.
Wow.
I remember driving home that day was a very long journey for me, it was steep. And I couldn't imagine or I could not think of the fact that I had a redundancy letter in my bag going home, and the next day there was not going to be any job for me. And
livelihood was shut, kind of.
yeah, that situation is a very I don't wish it for my worst enemy, you know. I don't wish it for my worst enemy. The whole night I couldn't sleep. And you guess what? It was 31st August. So the next day was 1st September. And so my mind was like, so when it's 30th September, there was no salary for me again. And I remember all those fearful thoughts, you know. You know when you go through something and you have those fearful thoughts of how you are going to become broke, you are going to be disgraceful, everything, those thoughts were just coming through my mind.
Right.
I cried for so many days, so many months, and I lost weight. And I couldn't even go in public because I didn't want to church and because I didn't want people to ask me what has happened and all that, you know. But I'm here because something happened to me, and that is what I have been preaching or I have been empowering women to step into. And I believe that's why we are here to discuss this. So, Grace Quarshie is that lady who lost her job 6 years ago, and as a result of that, is now an international conference speaker, is now a coach and an author. What possibility do you see in this story for yourself? And that's my mission. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here.
Today we're gonna we just like Ambassador would do, Ambassador Ben would do. Today we've got the hashtag possibilities. So if you just joined us, you are on the Power Impact series on the African Season Network, Speaker Networks. So we just started. That's our topic. We're talking about women stepping into their opportunities. Share the line. Call a friend to tell a friend to come join us so we discuss. We've just taken off. In fact, we just taxied off the tarmac. We are now about to take off. So, Madam Grace, I'm looking at it. You kissed your job goodbye. Now you are launching into possibilities, uncertainties. You don't know what you're going to do. I'm sure at that point, a lot of things were filling in your mind. What am I going to do to survive? How am I going to take care of my bills and everything?
Oh, yeah.
Aside all the burden of the bills and also what you're going to do. Now, tell us, walk us through how did you manage to? Because I believe at that point, emotionally, you weren't all right. Mentally, you weren't all right. So how did you do it?
No. You know, you talk about paying bills and all those things, even though those things were very scary for me. But one significant thing that I was very disappointed in and was very scared for was how I was not able to achieve my dreams of getting to the corporate ladder.
Okay.
Anyone watching me here knows that, especially in the corporate world, it's a dream to have a career progression, you know.
Right.
And I was definitely on that path, you know, after being awarded as a star performer and being able to get all my appraisals and all that. So I was on that path of taking myself to the corporate ladder gradually. And that was the dream, that was the goal. So that when I get there, I could use that to inspire African women not to give up on themselves, no matter the setback they face. Because the other part of my life is that at the age of 19 years, I ran away from home to take myself to the university because there was no parental support.
Wow.
There was no parental support. So I wanted to use getting a job after the university, especially in the banking career. Those days, working in the bank was super, you know. I wanted to
It comes
inspire
with
people. So
prestige.
yeah. So I didn't just lose a job, I also lost a dream. For me,
Right.
it was more than income because I've lost a dream. And if you're watching me, you know, we all have dreams. We all have dreams. I mean, how many of you have a dream that whatever you are doing, you are driven because of your dreams?
Right.
You know, how many of us have that? We wake up because of our purpose and our dreams. And that was what made me disappointed. So when I got back home, confused and not knowing what to do, not knowing what to turn, after crying and thank God for my pastor who encouraged me, Pastor Andy Yosin. Thank God for my husband who was there to support me, and some few close friends that I was able to confide in that I've lost a job. Because when in this particular situation, it's not everybody that you can tell. You have to be careful. You have to let people who can encourage you or help you share your story with them, what has happened and all that. So after the few friends and the encouragement I got, I decided to start all over again. Now, my main purpose was I want to achieve that dream of becoming an inspiration.
Hmm.
That was my main purpose. It was like dreaming again. And there's nothing wrong in dreaming again. If you are watching me and sometimes things happen to our life, you know, things that we have not thought of, things that we didn't expect, they come our way. And sometimes we allow those things to stop us and we stop dreaming.
But you see, I
We
think
stop dreaming. We
for
stop
the
living again.
for the many of us, is the pain. There are two folds to what you said: the pain of losing one thing, and then the pain of starting another thing. So you're already battling with one that you've lost, a dream, career. You were almost there, and then you lost it. And then now you're going to start something all over. The uncertainties, the pain, you know, like it's not going to be a clear vision. So that is where the pain is. But
Yeah,
the success sometimes is in
yeah,
the failures. And so the possibility you saw,
yeah. You
how did you
said it
navigate
right.
it? So how did you navigate it? How did you what I'm sure you had options. So how did you navigate it?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you
You
choose
know,
this is going to be
yeah, one thing I'll say,
uh-huh.
yeah, one thing I'll say, that's why I'm saying that it's never too late to dream again.
Mhm.
I want you to look and get something that will inspire you to get up again. You
Right.
know, as you rightly said, the pain of starting again is very, very painful.
Oh yes.
It's not a good place to be.
Yeah.
It's not a good place to, and the confusion and the fear to step into the unknown.
Mm.
But do you know what? As you rightly said again, sometimes in those pain are where our treasures, that's where our treasures lies. And that's what I want us to look at as possibilities. That's
True.
what I want us to look at.
Okay.
So in my case, I had to dream again. And my inspiration for getting up again was the fact that I still want to become that woman who can inspire African women not to give up on themselves no matter what they have gone through. And guess what? I've just lost a job. And that was a very painful, perfect example for me to use to inspire other women.
Mm.
But it all depends on how I'm able to see possibilities in the midst of my problem.
No problem. True. Mm. Okay.
So that is how it started for me.
So what
And if you are watching us right now and you find yourself, okay, go ahead.
yeah, what were some of the things you were talking about? Like I'm sure around that time when you lost there, you wanted to start all over. You were looking at some of your talents, what you could do. So like, and I'm sure at that point you realized you
Yeah,
maybe probably do a lot of that. I could sew some clothes, I could probably could sing, or I could write a book, and you chose writing the book. What inspired that?
yeah. So what I was saying now, I was trying to tell someone that maybe you find yourself in that particular situation. And I always tell people that whatever you are going through and you want to start all over again, make sure you go through your process, the foundation of mourning. If you want to cry, cry and whatever. But
Very
after that, come out of it.
out of it.
Come out of it. Now, find that one thing that will help you dream again. That will help you get up from the floor again. And for me, that was the dream of becoming an inspiration. So one night, Steve, I was lying on my bed. I remember looking at the ceiling. You know, that it was a moment of reflection and a moment of now, Grace, you have to decide what you really want to do with your life.
Mhm.
And then I had three questions that transformed my life. Up to now, I look back and I don't know, but I strongly believe as a someone who believed in God the Father and the Holy Spirit, it was the Holy Spirit, God the Son, and the Father, who gave me those inspirations. And that was what I started doing to experience my transformation. And I share this in my book, in my speech, and everything to empower people to see their possibilities.
Mhm.
The first question was, Grace, where are you now? I mentioned my name because that was exactly what happened. And, you know, where are you now is a question of awareness. And when I'm coaching people or women and I'm asking them this question, I tell them that be very true to yourself. You know, the life you are living now, is it what you want? Look in the areas of your life where you have stopped yourself, where you have allowed fear to stop you, or where you have told yourself that you are not good enough because of what happened to you. One of the things that happened to me when I lost my job was the thought of not good enough. Because sometimes I wake up during those days and I remember that there are people still in the bank. So, Grace, why were you laid off? And you know, those thoughts of like, because you are not good enough, that is why you were laid off. So I had to deal with that thought. And those current things open up my eyes to where I am, my current situation, and also what I can do to transform my life to move from where I am now to where I want to be. So you need to ask yourself this question. And for some of us, there's so many things in us that we have buried because of the current situation, the current challenges, or even we don't believe in ourselves that we will be able to do it. So I want you to create this awareness. Where are you now? What have you allowed to stop you from moving towards your dreams or taking that action to transform your life? And the second question, okay, if you want to ask me anything, you can go ahead
Yeah,
before
so
I go to the second question.
just it's just a discussion, a contribution. So where are you now? Pretty much is more of like taking stock of your life. Be honest to yourself, truthful. I
Yes,
have failed in this or something.
yes,
This particular is my pain,
yeah,
and
yeah,
so then you
yeah,
take stock of it, and then you move on from there.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
if I'm getting you clearly, that's
You
exactly
are
what.
so right. Yes, you are so right. Because that also creates some sort of clarity around you,
Right.
you know, and then it moves you to the next step, which shows which was the question was, where do you want to be?
What do you
You
want to?
know, whatever has happened to you at that moment. And for me, the question was, where do you want to be 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 6 years from now, after losing your job, you know? And when you ask yourself that question, where are you now? Ask yourself again, where do you want to be? Because your current situation should not stop you from accessing your possibilities.
No,
It shouldn't stop you.
no.
So that is why we are asking ourselves, where do you want to be? Because guess what? As they always say, what is left behind? I mean, what is in front of us is more than what has been left behind. And when I asked myself this question 6 years ago, I started smiling. I started having, because that one was a question that I knew straight away where I want to be. And that was what? To become an inspiration to African women. The third question was, who do you need and what do you have to do to get to where you want to be? Who do you need and what do you have? Because desires and dreams, they are not just going to happen until we take action. And this is what the second question is, the question of your future and the vision that you have for your life. And the third question is now, we are creating and we are finding stepping into our possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
We have to know what we have to do and who we need. Now, that is when I started. The second question, the third question, I started writing them down.
Right.
So who do you need? And then what do I have to do? And I told myself, that was when I told myself that I want to start my own business. As at what I wanted to start, I didn't know at that time. But the moment you make a decision, God start bringing the resources for that decision to come to pass, or that desire to come to pass. And so the following month, I started my business. So funny, a bakery business. And I took myself to school to learn how to bake and all that.
Okay.
And I started a business. But after 6 months, that business failed. Why? Because I noticed one thing, that passion is not it all. We need passion, but it is not enough. There is more than passion, and I will call it you finding your fulfillment zone. What you will do that will make you fulfilled in life. So I move on to my second business, which I was introduced to. It was a network marketing business, a very beautiful model. The reason why I stuck onto that business was because it involves people and helping people.
Right.
I didn't know that was the beginning of my skills and my potential that was going to be revealed for me to be doing all the things that I am doing now. So it's very simple. Where are you now? Where do you want to be? Who do you need? And what do you have to do? Now, some of us, let us not play on that thing. What do you have to do? Some of us are stuck because we have not done what we have to do to access our possibilities, to take chance. And there are so many things I would love to share with you, but we don't have time. But I want you to know that the moment you are able to give answers to these three questions, especially knowing what you have to do, and the last question, that knowing the people who you need. And I also noticed that I need people to help me. There's nothing you want to do in this world that you will not need people. And the people that I needed to transform or to help me change my mindset so that I could see my possibilities were coaches. So I started a lot of transformational coaching. And by God's grace, I had the privilege to coach with one of the best coaches in the world, Lisa Nichols, and some best coaches in Nigeria and across the globe too as well. That was an investment I made in myself to access my possibilities. I'll pause here so that if you have any question, then I'll just give some few strategies that we can do that.
So if you just joined us wherever you're viewing us from, good afternoon from here in Texas, good evening in Ghana and in Europe. And I believe it's good morning in Asia and some part of the other world. So wherever you're watching the Impact series. And today we are talking about women stepping into their possibilities. And by women, is not, we are not limited it to gender. It's just humans or people stepping into their possibilities. So that's just taking the cue from the woman, a woman's point, and applying it to your life. So please call a friend to share, tell a friend that, hey, we are still like, it's still here. We are going to the juicy part where you're going to tell you what you need to do and the people you need in your life. So call a friend to tell a friend. We'll go to a quick comment. We'll take a quick commercial break. When we get back, then we'll kickstart with the second version. Okay. All right. Stay with us.
Need a spark to kickstart your innovation? Looking for thought and talks to get things moving? Wondering how to navigate a future full of change and uncertainty? With the eye-opening stories of digital disruption, extreme customer centricity, organizational innovation, and global shift, our collective of speakers, MCs, and moderators will shift your perspective. Meet our speakers. For booking and interviews, contact us on 0246 054092 or send us a mail info.abscessnet@gmail.com. You can also follow us on all social media channels at AbscessNet Global, African Seasoned Speakers Network, influencing the next generation of Africans.
So welcome back to the Power Impact series, and today we are discussing the possibilities, women stepping into their possibilities. And like I said, by women is not, we are taking the cue from the woman's point and then we are applying into our lives. And today I've learned a lot. I'm also a speaker, but I'm learning a lot. You see, in this journey of life, if you want to be great, there are pieces to pick up every day. Everybody's story is different.
Oh, yeah.
And so just open up your mind, learn from people, take the cue. The best thing you can do to yourself is to shorten your learning curve by learning from the best, those who have been where you want to go. That's why you need mentors. And so possibility, you define your own success. She defined her own success and she started taking the path. Yeah. Challenges and problems are part of the process. If you don't know how to deal with them, that's when you get stuck. And so that's the cue I'm taking from. I'm taking my own inspiration. I've started writing down my notes. Are you also writing? Yes. It is just simple. You learn from people, write it down, and reflect on it every time. That's why we are here. So we are here to do the discussion today. Like I said, if you just join us, the first part will be, it's recorded. It will be on there for you to go back and watch. But if you just join us, we are discussing women stepping into their possibilities. And so, Madam Grace, we are back on the second round, which is giving us 3-4 important steps. And you're going to talk about the people that we need and what we need to do on our part to be successful. So you chose your path. Clearly, you knew what you were doing. You failed at doing the bakery. You finally decided the marketing thing brought you to close to what you wanted to do to bring fulfillment. And you said fulfillment, find where fulfillment will take you to your zone. You know, that thing, that sweet spot. And so today, tell us, so now you are on it. You were on, now you've discovered the people that you need and what you're going to do. So take it from there.
Yeah, so before I'll get to that side, I just want to state on this point that, so when I started the network marketing business, that was when I started discovering that there are some things that I love doing, talking to people, teaching people, because the business requires that you train people. And I love doing that. And also I noticed that anywhere I go and I speak, I share my story. I wasn't speaking, I was just sharing my story. People were inspired to take action. They were influenced to take radical action. And that was what helped me to build a very successful network marketing business. Within a year, I became one of the leaders in Ghana. I also qualified for all the incentives and all that. And I said, no, hold on a minute. There is something I have to learn from here. And I picked up those two things about coaching and speaking. Now, after some year and a half, I noticed that I just had the inspiration to write a book so that my people can use my story. You remember what I said from the beginning, that my dream was to become an inspiration. So I wanted to write a book for people to be inspired, that when they lose their job, it is not the end of their life. That was after I began the success in doing very well in network marketing, and people were being inspired by my story, gaining, huge media attention and all that. So I said, well, let me write a book and also use it to encourage people. So that's how come My first book, I Kissed My Job Goodbye. By God's grace, I have 4 books, 2 co-authored. One of them was co-authored with the legendary speaker Les Brown, which I'll be
Wow.
launching this month.
Wow.
Yes,
Les
by
Brown.
God's grace, yes.
Nice.
Yes,
It's a very big achievement. Yeah,
we give all the glory to God.
in the States, those guys are they have a very busy
Yeah,
schedule. For you to get to
yeah,
you have
yeah.
I give you off my heart for
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So let me share how I got here. That there are 4 things. There are so many things I want to share, but I'll share 4. The first thing is shifting your mindset to your possibilities. Shifting your mindset to your possibilities. And what do I mean by this? I have 2 things that I normally say when I'm talking about this. I say that you have to release self-doubt. The self-doubt of I am not good enough, the self-doubt of that thought of what if I fail? What if I go and they reject me? What if they tell me that it's not possible? You have to release all those self-doubts. And the second thing you have to do when you want to shift your mindset to your possibilities, you have to embrace self-belief. You have to embrace self-belief. You have to know that despite whatever, that God created you with something good that is in you. And your job is to discover that thing. Discover your good. Discover that thing that is in you for you that you can use to bounce back again from whatever that has happened to you, or for you to access your possibility. Discover it. So shifting your mindset to your possibilities, release self-doubt, release it. I mean, this is a daily work we all have to work on. When you want to release self-doubt, you attack it. You go and do the things that you are afraid to do, to test your pulse and see if you can do it. When I started speaking, it was so difficult for me as a functional dyslexia. I don't even know how to pronounce, and some of you, your good English sounds so wrong in my ears, and wrong English sounds so right in my ears. But I said I want to be an international speaker. And so you have to keep release self-doubt by going out there to empower your possibilities, to empower your potentials. Don't be afraid. Fear is always in front of you, but behind fear is your possibilities. So this is what I mean by shifting your mindset to your possibilities. What makes you who you are? You know, wherever I go after speaking, the number 1 feedback I get everywhere, and I have marked it down, you were very inspirational. You were very empowering. My words have a way of turning or changing people's mindsets, even if the English is some way. Sorry about that. That was just, you know, so you have to attack that. And I keep on learning every day. So after this live, I'll go and watch my live vid. I'll go and watch it. And I'll watch where I said a word that I shouldn't have said it. Like I'll go back again. And now my next speech, I'm going to upgrade myself. I'm shifting my mindset to my possibilities. All you have to see around you is what is possible for you and what not. You forget about what you cannot do. My coach, Lisa Nichols, says that I don't know what perfection is all about, but there's one thing I know, that practice and progress will bring you the results. I've said the second thing of progress, practice and progress. There's nothing like perfection.
Mm-hmm.
Practice and progress.
I remember this thing is so resonates with me so much. 8 years in the U.S. Navy. I remember one time when one of my commanders said something. He said that it has stuck with me. He said, we used to say that practice makes perfect. He said, no, cancel that. Nobody attains perfection yet. Practice brings familiarization.
Love that.
He said you get familiar with what you're doing, so now you don't spend a lot of time. You just do it mechanically. So the moment he said something, and it has stuck with me. He said, the moment you find yourself over familiarized with something and it becomes mechanical, it's time to move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Next challenge. It's time to take on the next challenge. That's how you grow.
Yeah.
You said it's in
That's how we grow. Yeah.
it's in the progress.
And you know, that is you overcoming your fear on a daily basis. You know, sometimes we are afraid to go into that fear zone because we don't want the way we feel uncomfortable when we get there. But guess what? That's how we grow. As you rightly said, that is how we grow. So practice the process you get whilst you are practicing makes you, there's nothing like, I don't know what's perfection. That's like my coach said, because when I said I want to become a speaker, I go live, I speak on platforms and all that. People invite me to speak, and it's not that I get paid for all the speaking engagements. But one thing I am doing to myself, my vision is to become Africa's #1, highly paid, highly booked, highly sought after, highly recommended speaker and coach and author. And I cannot do this but by not shifting my mindset to my possibility and what I can do with my skills and my potential. I said, discover what you want to do. And when I'm talking about discover, I want you to be very clear. Anytime I'm coaching people, I ask them this question: what do you want in life? And I learned this from some of my mentors, Les Brown, my coaches, Lisa Nichols, Dr. Sherwood, my coaches. Some of them, I have not had personal encounter with them, but I read their books. John Maxwell, Brian Tracy, Tony Robbins. And when you look in all their books, there is one success secret they always say: know what you want in life. What do you want in your life? Because what you want will determine the steps and the actions that you will take to achieve it. What do you want in your life? It's my vision to become Africa's #1, highly paid, highly booked, that is what I want. And so everything you see me doing, call me to come and speak here. Call me to come and speak here. I will come and speak. I'm not getting paid for all of them. But guess what? I'm developing my speaking career. I'm building brand awareness for Grace Quarshie and what Grace Quarshie wants to be. So what do you want to be? What do you want in life?
This part is really interesting. And if you're a young entrepreneur, a young guy, young lady out there, I need you to take this. She said something and it's very important. I have to reiterate it. She's been speaking. It's her dream. She wants to be #1, sought after, highly booked, recommended. Yet in the process, she's doing some of them free to build. What are you sacrificing? That's the question I'm asking.
Thank you.
What are you willing to sacrifice to get to that dream? Look, this is part of the painful process that you go through. You will have to study, write, do presentations for free, just so your name and your brand will go out there. When people get a feel of you, then now it will get to the point where now you get paid for what you're doing. But before then, in the process, are you going to quit because you have to do it for free? It's a question only you can answer. So yeah, and if you are here, thank you. If you just joined us, this is the Power Impact series. We are talking about women stepping into their possibilities from a woman's point, but I'm a man, I'm taking it. And Dr. Melissa Dodson, thank you so much for joining and all your comments and everything. She said, most people have goals, but they don't work from the bottom of the goals. Society teaches you to work from the top and focus on the goals, but I would rather work from the bottom. It helps you to know if this is what you should do or no longer be working on. The bottom goals help you to disregard and look at the importance of why they are why at the bottom, and you should think first. Always at it. You should think and always place the top in your head. Like, so what in effect, what he's trying to say is you have the end goal in your mind's eye, but you start from the bottom. You start from the bottom.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that's very true.
So I'm also bringing this discussion, and I have to always bring something to the point. My uncle told me something which has also stuck with me. He said, this life, we climb. It's an ascending, we climb. If you start from the top and you don't know the process that you get to the top, somebody lift you and put you to the top, it's very likely you fall. But when you go yourself to the top, you know the process, you know how painful it is. He said, don't start life with a Toyota or an Opel. Sorry, don't start life with a Mercedes BM or a Mercedes or a BM and then end up with a Toyota. Start with a Toyota, end up with a Mercedes. You have to progress. Yes, because the painful thing is you experience luxury and then you fall. It's very painful.
Yeah.
So experience your Toyota now and then you appreciate your Mercedes. Don't start with Mercedes now when you cannot afford it, when you cannot do certain things. So start with the process. And I'm glad you mentioned that you started doing some free presentations to build you, and also so when you get to the top, you know how to handle people. I like that. Let's take it from there.
Yeah. So I mean, you rightly said it. It's a process, it's a process, and you should know that anytime you interrupt with the process, it will affect you at the end. As I said, I was a baker before. So when you are baking and the cake is in the oven, you don't have to go and be no.
You don't open the oven.
Before we don't open the oven. Why does your wife bake or
the process? You delay the process when you keep opening it.
Yes, you delay the process, or the cake will come back and it will not be as it was supposed to be.
Right.
That is how life is. So you go through the process, and from the people that I'm learning from, or the people that are living the life I want to live, most of them, Tony Robbins was sharing his story of how he was speaking free everywhere, unless you don't invite him.
He's there.
Sometimes he said he will sit, he will speak. He was just speaking. This man, he was just speaking, And now this is Tony Robbins, who charged like $1 billion for coaching.
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk about all those things,
They have a series that they come to Dallas every time, and I've missed almost all there because my schedule is tight. But the next one, Tony Robbins, Les Brown.
Please do.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Please do.
Yeah.
Please do. Your life will quantum growth. Please do. Please do.
Because they will share the life experience with you that will show
Yeah. So I mean that, and the last two things I would say, I talk about shifting your mindset to your possibilities, discover what you want in life, and also I will talk about developing your potential, because it's very important for you to develop that thing that you can turn around to make you or become the woman that you want to be. And when it comes to potential development, you need someone to help you do that. And there are no two ways about that. People try to do all sorts of things, but if you want to go far, if you want to get there quicker, like what you just said, if you want to shorten your journey, save money and all those things, make sure that you get someone who has been where you are, or who is living the life you want to live. Get in touch with them, get into their needs, and help them develop who you are. Because sometimes you yourself, you might not see it. You need someone who is already there, where is already at the place that you want to be, to help you and tell you what you need to do to get there. And also, fear might be stopping you to get there. And you need someone to help you release that fear by letting you know that you can do it and showing you how you can do it. Anytime I'm coaching people, I see that as a privilege. I coach one-on-one clients, I do group coaching and all that. Because in that moment, the task or the work I have to do is to deal with the objections of these women who are telling themselves that they are not good enough. But guess what? I was there 6 years ago, and I have been able to navigate that thought of not good enough. I've beaten it to become who I am today. And so I have that mandate to help them also realize that they can do it. And that's how you develop your potential. Someone who has been there before, or someone who is living the life you want to live, can help you develop it, and they will also lessen your fear. I get people who come to my DMs and they are like, I want your confidence. I want to be confident like you. I want to do the things you are doing. And sometimes, but see, I laugh because they don't. I took myself for the past 3 years. I've invested heavily, and I mean heavily, in coaching. I've invested heavily in my personal
That is the,
development
that is
because
the
I
part,
can never give
that is the part
what
they
I
don't
don't
see.
have.
That is the part they don't see. They see the final product, but they don't see the process.
Yeah,
That's the part they don't see. They see the final product.
yeah,
You're confident,
yeah,
but what made you confident? The steps you
yeah,
took. Sometimes they're not ready to
yeah,
take it too. They're not ready to sacrifice.
yeah.
They're not ready.
No,
Yeah.
most of the time, a lot of us are interested, but we are not ready to commit most of the time. I mean, sitting in the seat of where I meet people, people come to me, they do discovery call, they also want to do what I'm doing and all that. And when you tell them what it takes to get there, I mean, that's the end of it. You don't hear or you don't see them again. Now, let's move on to the last point.
Okay.
I'll tie two into one. And what I will say is that create opportunities for yourself and create opportunities for others. So, all this I am doing, developing myself. One thing I want to do is to help African women overcome self sabotage that is stopping them. That's my mission from taking their lives to creating global visibility for them in their business, their career. And also, I'm helping them to be able to monetize their skills, their expertise, and help them share their story by writing and speaking their story to impact lives globally. Now, all these things I am doing is an opportunity I've created for myself. And
Right.
when I finish doing that, I come back and I create opportunities for other African women to also see that it is possible for them. So a
True.
lot of people have been inspired by what I'm doing, how I lost my job, and what I'm doing now. What is it doing for them now? What is doing for them now? It also creating opportunities for them to know that it is possible for them to get to wherever they think they want to get to. So let's do a short recap briefly. I said that shift your mindset to your possibility. Discover what you want in life. Discover critically what you want in life. And I also said that I think I'm trying to forget the third point. If you can remember, you can share it. Develop your potential. And remember, I said with that, you will need someone to help you to do that. Don't joke with that one. If you want to go far, don't joke with it. And the last thing, which I tied it into two,
Create.
create opportunities for yourself and create opportunities for others. Do you remember our three questions was T? The first three transformational questions. Do you remember them?
Oh, you're talking about where you are now. First question, and then where do you want to be, and then do you which people do you need on that road, and then what do you have to do to get there?
And what do you have to do? Wow, you took notes,
Yeah,
really. Thank you so much.
it's filled up
I
now.
love that.
Yeah. You see, that's the
I
only
love
way.
that.
Because I always tell people, I mean, you can't give what you don't have. So if you come and sit here, you think it's easy, you sit here, then you realize that, okay, well, whatever you're saying, people are not interested. In 20 minutes, they're out. So the only way is to keep developing. I mean, it's part of the
Yeah.
process. That's the only way. Like you're saying, the cake won't come out better if it doesn't go through the process.
No, 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 no.
So that's the only way. So
No.
for you to be a fine golden cake that comes out very brown and golden cake,
Mm,
you have to be willing to go through the heat of the oven,
process.
the heat of the oven. And so thank you so much. I mean, this thing resonates with me, and it's something that I really connect with. It's my first time with you, but I've already learned a lot. I can tell within the realm where you've come from, and the pain of the process that you've applied. And I can only see the bigger light at the end of the tunnel there where you are. I believe you're gonna understand what you want and what you do to get there. And this is why Ambassador Ben, I now understand why they keep bringing you a Mackenzie. I now understand why they keep bringing you, because you have I've gone through the process, and you keep sharing, you keep inspiring. So thank you for keep inspiring, keep motivating people, and you're sharing your possibilities with them, your success with them, your failures with them, and that I appreciate. So if you just join us, share, like the button. And Dr. Melissa Dotson, thank you so much for joining. Ambassador Ben, I'm sitting in for you. You are the host. I am helping the team from the back end. I've been called to sit in while he engaged in business and other things. And hopefully he's going to come back. Hopefully, I hope by next week he's going to be, because nobody does it better like him. So, I'm hoping. Yeah. So wherever you are, Ambassador Ben, I salute you. And thank you for, sharing your time with us, bringing inspirational people like Madam Grace Quarshie to always come and talk to us and teach us. And so I thank you giving me the opportunity also to sit in your big chairs, of which I'm not able to occupy. But I guess I've done well. So thank you. And let me share something small with you. Self-belief and hard work is what will give you the success. You can't beat it anyhow. If you don't believe in yourself, it reflects in the way you do things. It's kind of alter your confidence and everything, and then you have to know failure is success in progress. If you fail at something, probably nature is telling you this is not a route, take a different route. But you see, in all the failures, you learn a lesson, which you carry the next one. And so on the next one, you start from a point of an experience, not a novice. And so let me leave you with this. True. Yeah, let me leave you with this. I'll leave you with so I'll leave you with this. Philippians 4:8. It says, "Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are good of good report. If there is any virtue, if there's any praise on these, think on these things." We've told you. We've come here. That's my favorite scripture too. I'm telling you. So we've come here, we've shared our life experiences, a discussion and everything. Now it's up to you to take the mantle and run. See you on the flip side. Thank you for coming. Thank you for your time, Madam Grace. I really appreciate you. God bless whatever you're doing and make you great and let you reach the top so you can come and pick some of us from here. Thank you.
No, we'll meet at the top. We'll meet at the top. We'll meet at the top.
Thank you. And I'll get your number. I'll get your number so we speak on the flip side. So thank you so much for the opportunity. Sure. I really appreciate you. You stand properly.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone who joined us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much too.
Need a spark to kickstart your innovation? Looking for thought and talks to get things moving? Wondering how to navigate a future full of change and uncertainty? With the eye-opening stories of digital disruption, extreme customer centricity, organizational innovation, and global shift, our collective of speakers, MCs, and moderators will shift your perspective. Meet our speakers. For booking and interviews, contact us on 0246 054092 or send us a mail info.accessnet@gmail.com. You can also follow us on all social media channels at AccessNet Global, African Seasoned Speakers Network, influencing the next generation of Africans.